We are part of Altice Europe. It's a company that is operating in 4 countries: France, Portugal, Israel, and Dominican Republic. Although Dominican Republic geographically is not in Europe, but it's part of the European organization. We have got 30 million customers, and our main strategy is on telecommunications, media content, and publicity and entertainment. In case of Portugal, we are leading all segments and all technologies, and we are now deploying. Regarding the mobile, we are deploying 5G already, so we have 4G 99.7% of population covered, and on 5G we have already 64% of population covered. We had a huge effort during the last decade for the FTTH. So we have more than 6 million homes passed. That represents more than 85% of the total homes and enterprises in the country. Okay, this is just a global picture. Very important. We were a former incumbent, so because of that, we have relevant challenges because we've got some legacy. But right now, we are leading completely the market. Okay, so let me go through the subject itself. Sorry, I'm trying to get rid of this. Okay, now it's fine. Because there was something here. Okay, so our journey into intelligent automation. This is our belief. So our belief is that I have a graph here that represents the evolution of automation throughout time. So, and that started with the what we call the individual automation. That means in the automation of very small and simple tasks. Then it evolved to industrialized automation when there was the automation of more complex processes. But we believe that with intelligent automation, we really is where we get real business value. So, and that goes beyond the cost reduction, because automation was always looked as a way of reducing costs. But in this case, it's more than that. Of course, we're reducing costs, but we are really enhancing the customer experience. And we are enabling the business to create more value and to get revenue growth. So this is our belief. And this is an important part on the way to the digital transformation that we are fostering right now. And let me talk about some guidelines and also challenges on this path. So the intelligent automation is one of the most important parts of this, and I just mentioned before. And then it goes to the virtualization and cloudification. And that is something, I think the last panel, the last presentation, there was a lot of reflection about this. When we talk about cloudification, it means that all our systems and all our integrations must be cloud native. It doesn't mean that all of them go to public cloud. So this decision, we have to think it very well. If you put our systems on the public cloud, or we have those systems already cloud native, but on premises, because it's more than the technical issue. I think it's from an economical point of view, we need to be very careful, because when we talking about large systems, putting them on a public cloud can be economically very heavy. So this is something. These options need to be considered always. Then we need to go for agile network service provision and delivery. That's it. That's something that that's part of the digital transformation. So we can do it more manually or have manual steps in the middle. So everything must be agile and completely automatic. And the OSS stack must be completely redefined and readapt to this new reality. In our case, especially, there is a challenge on this, and I will talk about that because we are former incumbent. Okay, and then to control the value chain, because when you're talking about this faster service deployment, we need to be sure that all the actions that are carried out to ensure this faster service deployment are not jeopardizing the quality of service. So we need to master the impact of all these changes, all these quick changes in our ecosystem. And we need to have the tools and the processes to ensure that we control every aspect of these impacts. Okay, and then let me highlight here our main challenges to keep these guidelines. If you want to follow these guidelines, there are challenges. And the first one for me is one of the most important, is the process simplification. Because I believe, and we believe here, that it's no use to start going to this digital transformation or to intelligent automation without simplifying first. Okay, because and there are a lot of examples in the industry of operators or other companies starting doing that without first addressing the business simplification, and they just failed. Because there's no use to apply all these concepts and try to implement that with the current processes that exist in the company. First, we need to simplify. And then there are human resources skills. In our case, we are former incumbent, so we have a lot of technologies in our network, in our reality, diverse technology, old technologies, new technology. The average age of our resources is, well, relatively high compared to new companies. And so there's a challenge here. So we need to carry out special programs in order to convey this new culture to across the organization. And this is a challenge. It is not like this. We need time. It's something. In our case, we started this at least 3 years ago. This program to convey information, to present these new technologies, the new way of working, these new concepts. It's something that takes time, and it's a challenge. It's very important because you can't renew a large organization like ours, in just a few months. And then the network OSS agility. We have a heavy legacy because we are an incumbent. So it's not. We are not beginning the construction of a network from scratch. We have to live with this legacy. Of course, we have strong actions going on to eliminate a lot of legacy. But that, like I said, it takes time. Is not just clapping our hands. And another important challenge is that this is not a totally framed task. Okay, this is a living process. So it's not something that we did some automation and that's it. No. We need to do this continuously, and that's not only and more and more. So we have to find more ways of improving, more ways of automating. So this is a continuous improvement, and everybody must be engaged on this role. So the main tools that we are using, on this left hand here, I put something automation. So the RPAs, the robotic process automation, we use them we are using them a lot, but to automate tasks. Okay, tasks that were doing by human beings, and now when we doing by robots, we can escalate the way we do those tasks, and we can gain a lot in terms of human resources. And so these tools are very important to automate tasks. And then we go beyond that, and we are starting to automate some processes. So that's what we call workflow management in a much more automated and intelligent way. And on the right side here, I have the tools. One is the API management and the API integration, because this is very important if you want to keep our systems fully integrated with other layers, other applications, so that we can achieve end-to-end automation, which is our main goal, the ultimate goal, and that's where we go to the full orchestration. That's another tool that those tools we are developing and integrating with our ecosystem, with our OSSs and network elements. Okay, so these are our main tools. So let me just let me address now some use cases. We are working in several use cases. I described here this network life cycle. Okay, we can follow the arrows here. So we begin with planning, and then projects, deploying, operate, optimizing, plan. So this is a network life cycle, not like a life cycle. It's an endless process, of course. And I will address some special specific use cases or examples of what we are doing in each of those points in the lifetime, in the life cycle, network life cycle. Okay, so let me begin with the plan, and what this use case is the automated coverage maps creation. Why do we need all these map creations? But first of all, we need that for network planning. Okay, so we're developing our mobile network continuously. Now we're deploying 5G. We need to optimize the current 4G network, and we're still doing a lot of 4G in terms of adding capacity layers, optimizing coverage. We need those maps for the network planning. This is one of the most important things. The other thing is to have reporting for the regulator, because the regulator is always asking for coverage indexes and stuff, and also for the municipalities, because we have a strong relationship with municipalities, and they are always claiming and asking for stuff. So this helps a lot on that stuff, and also for as a tool for CRM. Okay, so when customer complains about coverage issues or throughput issues or whatever, so this is a tool that can be used by those back office people. Okay, so we deployed, instead of having this manual creation of maps, now it is totally automated, and the yields of that is, of course, cost reduction, because people now are doing other stuff instead of loading maps and creating them manually. We do CapEx optimization. This is very important, because when you have a more precise network planning, we can decide better where to add capacity, where to add new sites, and that at the end of the day, it's the use of our CapEx resources more efficiently. We have a faster business response, because when there are requests or when there are complaints, we can respond quicker. And the operations on time information is always available for everybody. Okay, so let's go to deploy. And deploy, this is a very particular case in our organization. And what was the need, the basic needs? Well, our B2B areas on business side, they have to answer a lot of requests from entities, from customers, asking for connectivity, asking for circuits terminations, access requests, whatever. And that is more than 20K requests a year. Okay, so this is something that was done manually. So you can imagine the efforts on our side of people looking and analyzing all these requests one by one and calculating the budget of those connections, doing project guidelines for those connections. And this is a huge human effort on our side. So we developed a machine learning tool that has all this information, because we were doing this for years. So the information, the history is there. We have a lot of rules created. So that can be, all this can be automatized. This can be in this machine, a machine learning tool that can automate all this stuff. So we have a cost reduction, of course, this is a no-brainer. The faster response to business requests, time to market, of course, because this was a process that took long and the customer was waiting for the budget and stuff. Now it's much quicker. The capex control, because there's some homogeneity now on the solutions, is what I say here, because it's the tool that is making is defining the solutions with the algorithms and with the learning that it has, and is not depending on the actual person that is doing the analysis. Okay. And so we believe that we can have more than 80% of the requests to be automated by 2022, which is a huge gain. Why not 100%? Because there's always some odd requests, and we can't put everything on the same bag, because sometimes you have some out of the line kind of requests. Operate. This is very important. What I can tell you here is that this is a program that we've been, what we call the NOC, Network Operation Center, NOC Automation. This is a program that we have been running for several years already. And it's based on a trigger engine. And this trigger engine has got years of history of rules definition. During the time we're doing that manually, we do a lot of stuff that now is being used to be automated, and it's fully integrated with APIs to the OSS systems. Okay, so I can tell you some figures here. Just for example, we have the alarm compression. It means that we've got millions of alarms per day, and only 0.5% of those alarms they result in a ticket open. Okay, and those tickets, 96% of them are opened automatically. Okay, the dispatching, 58% is done automatically also. So this means that when you dispatch those tickets for the field teams or for the second line teams or whatever, it's almost 60% are being done automatically, and we've got already 18% of self-feeding. That's huge. Here we have some potential to grow, because this really makes a difference. So our main intention is that in the medium term we can evolve to a zero touch NOC. It means that everything is automated. And at the end of the day, we have a better customer experience, because with this, the incident resolution is faster. So because everything, or at least a huge part of the incidents, it's being handled automatically. So it's dispatched quicker, and then the resolution is quicker, and that gets, at the end of the day, better customer experience. On the operate, also, let me just talk a bit. I was talking about RPA, and here we can quantify better. So we have the areas of application. I have a list of areas of application. So this is continuously. This is continuous. Okay, so we have the RPAs already being used to assess all these areas of applications, but new use cases are being brought and new implementations are being done. Okay, right now we had more than 300K procedures per year that are already fully fully automated, and this is growing. Okay, this is growing. The cost reduction that we had right now, it's 19 FTA equivalent. So it means that we can move the manpower, people doing repetitive tasks, to brain power. Means instead of doing repetitive tasks, people now are thinking about ways to improve, are thinking about complex problems, and not doing repetitive tasks that had human error, a lot of human error. So with this, we reduce human error. We have on-time affirmations, and the response is faster. So this means that at the end of the day, we have faster response to the business areas, faster response to the incident handling, and we can handle much higher volume of transactions. That's what we are doing. Finally, optimizing. We had a lot of, but I chose this use case. We had a lot of examples on the optimization side, but I chose this SON, okay, the self-organized networks, to optimize the radio access network. So we implemented a machine learning, artificial intelligence, centralized SON. And this means that right now we can almost have zero touch provisioning mode for the new sites. For the optimization, we went from hours to optimize a site manually to minutes. And we had a lot of gains on the network optimization. So the cost reduction is evident, human error reduction also. And on the site reconfiguration and optimization, of course, the time is much lower. We had improved precision, and we've got better network KPIs. So we increased the LTE coverage, reduced call drop, better accessibility. The throughput improvement is also evident. So all these network indicators, they got better with this tool. And there's something very important, because we're carrying a lot of it's something that we're carrying a lot, is power efficiency. It's something that's it's impossible to forget. And with this SON tool, we can put on off our network, cells, layers, wherever, in an automatic, depending on the traffic. We can activate and deactivate a lot of network elements themselves, or just layers, or just cells, whatever. This is done intelligently and automatically in our network. So this provides us power, a very substantial power saving in our network. So just to wrap up, to conclude my presentation, sorry. It's just a few takeaways. Means that intelligent automation requires new skills and a new organization culture. That takes time, especially in the case of former incumbents who have a lot of legacy and old systems and old people as well. Then simplify first, automate after. There's no use yet to start going through this process without having a simplification of your network and not network, on the processes, and everything must be aligned, process and people. You just can engage on this without simplifying first. And then have some technical options. Choose open systems, okay, to begin automation journey. And we need to build a strong data foundation, because otherwise, if you have, because in our case we have a lot of data sources and stuff, and this needs to be integrated. So we need to have a strong data foundation, because it's where we can have all the information to promote this intelligent automation and have it with successful. And then don't forget that this is a continuous process. This is not a frame process, time frame process. It's a continuous process, and we need to define our KPIs in a very rational way. So it's not no use that we can define very aggressive KPIs and then we fail across everything. So we need to be very cautious, define realistic KPIs, engage in them, put the organization, and go for it. And that's it. These were my main messages. I'm sorry if I could not explain better myself, but well, if you have questions, I'll be glad to answer. And thank you.
Well, I really enjoyed the level of detail there in the use cases. I think that's really refreshing. I've just got one question for you, and we're nearly out of time, I'm sad to say, José. So in your opinion, what's the biggest challenge to giving customers the best possible experience? I know that's quite a question, but I'm just wondering if there's a single biggest thing that you consider.
What's the biggest challenge regarding the experience?
Regarding the best customer experience, yes.
Well, I think that the biggest challenge is to ensure that all the touch points that the customer experience with the organization, her experience is seamless across all these touch points. Okay, and then that experience is really effective. I have, because when you talk about no, the usability must be okay, the service must work. Well, this is anathema. Okay, nobody. If the service doesn't work and the usability is not okay, there's no use that the customer will leave. So that's not the biggest challenge. This is something that we are over already. So we need to ensure that all the touch points with the customer with the organization are seamless and are efficient. I remember once I worked in a company. Something almost 20 years ago. A company. I'm not going to say the name, but it was something very, 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 very funny, and it's more or less what I'm talking about here. It was, you had the service was okay, it worked perfectly. Once you had a problem, you have to get in touch with the organization. That was a nightmare. Okay, it was a nightmare. So you just went into a flipper machine, these flippers. Beep, 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 beep. So and the customer, the ball was going everywhere, but never. But the problem was not solved yet, never. So it means that we need this omni-channel integration. We need this first-time resolution. we need the follow-up. We need a thorough follow-up for the problems of the customer, and this is where the customer touch the organization, not only using the service, but when he has some problem, or when he needs to have for instance, ask for an upgrade for a different tariff plan, whatever. So I think this is in our case, is our biggest or strongest challenge. And I think it's might be in all organizations, I guess.
I was just going to say, I think that might apply to most telcos and many other organizations too.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you very much.
It.
It was a pleasure to participate. Thank you.
Thank you.